Hello everyone, welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering, and today we have done it. We have crossed the millennium. We've crossed the year 2000 and have entered the set of Nemesis. Now this will be a pretty short set because even though there are 6 legendary cards in this set, there are only 3 of them that can be commanders. So this will be pretty short, and then we'll get right on into the next one. So, let's start off with Ascendant Evincar, which is a legendary creature. It's a vampire. I believe the current eroded text, because that's the Plains Chase, one of the Plains Chase set card arts. But the current eroded text is that it is a legendary Phyrexian Vampire Noble. It is a 3/3, and it costs 4 generic mana, and 2 black mana. Not 4 black mana. It has flying, and other black creatures get +1/+1, and non-black creatures get -1/-1, which is very cool. And that does apply to itself as far as the second ability goes. Oh, gotta get my mouse up here. There we go. Yes, the second of that last ability of the -1/-1. If Ascendant Evincar ever stops being black, it does give itself -1/-1 because, unlike its first line or its second line, there other black creatures get +1/+1. The last one, non-black creatures get -1/-1. Just a blanket sweep. So if this ever becomes a different color besides black, it will get the -1/-1. So bear that in mind if you're ever playing with like color changing shenanigans. Ooh, that flashed over. Card to synergize with Ascendant Evincar is Bad Moon. Great card, cool, and it kind of is a little bit of redundancy backup to Ascendant Evincar for your mono black deck. The deck that I have Ascendant Evincar in is what I call a Plague deck, and it's all about effects that give -1/-1 or -2/-2 effects to creatures on the board. Defile obviously can give lots of negative X abilities based on the number of swamps you have, but it's all about reducing the power and toughness, preferably the toughness of creatures. And the reason why I like this strategy so much is because it's one of those things that gets around indestructible. It's one of those things that can get around hexproof and ward because you're just doing a blanket sweep board wipe effect, and because it's not actually damaging or destroying the target, it gets around indestructible because if a creature has 0 toughness, it dies, which is really cool. I love this playstyle. I can't wait to play with this deck some more. It's going to be a lot of fun. A popular deck idea on EDH Rec is, of course, vampires. It is a vampire, and Mono Black has all the vampires you'll ever need for a Mono Black vampire deck. And lastly, a fun, janky deck idea that I thought would be cool is because you are going to have -1/-1 synergies in your deck because of your commander just does it wildly. This could be, and again, I say this with a grain of salt, I am not much for infinite combos. I am not an infinite combo player myself. With that said, one of my favorite decks that I ever built was a 60-card casual format, 60-card infinite combo black deck. And it was about Mirror Retriever, Alter the Brood, and Heartless Summonings. If you're an avid Magic the Gathering fan, you probably know what this combo does. If you do not know what this combo does, essentially you have multiple Mirror Retrievers that the casting cost of 2 is reduced by Heartless Summoning. So it makes it so your Mirror Retrievers are free, with the caveat that all your creatures get -1/-1. Well, of course, this is going to kill your Mirror Retriever. However, when the first one dies, nothing's going to happen. When the second one dies, it's going to let you return an artifact from your graveyard to your hand like the first Mirror Retriever. So what you do is you create this infinite loop of Mirror Retriever gets cast, dies, goes to the graveyard. When it does die, it lets you bring back a Mirror Retriever from your graveyard to your hand, and then you can play it again and loop this cycle over and over and over again. The way to win with this deck is with Alter the Brood, because every time another permanent enters the battlefield, each opponent mills one card. And so obviously the way you win is you infinitely play Mirror Retrievers, they infinitely die, they infinitely return another Mirror Retriever to your hand, and you mill the whole board. So that is the only infinite combo deck that I actually own that I enjoy playing because it's just so silly, so janky. It has the ability to win on turn 1. And it was, at the time, it was very cheap for me to build. So I thought I'd take advantage of it and just have one infinite combo deck, just to say I had one. Now, of course, in Commander, in a singleton format, you cannot have multiple Mirror Retrievers in your deck. So you may not be able to get this as infinite as you'd like, but of course there are plenty of ways to reduce the casting cost of artifact spells. And there are many artifacts like Scrap Trawler, Mirror Retriever. There's a bird artifact creature as well that can return artifacts to your hand. So there are plenty of ways that you can remake this combo in this deck, especially with black, because you have tutors that can tutor up any card you need for the combo. So this would be one of the few times that I'm like, I liked this combo. It's silly, it's funny, and obviously if you can get it off, you do win on that turn, so then you can end, shuffle up, and play again. So this is one of the few times that I'm going to promote an infinite combo deck. This will be one of the few, so enjoy it. But this is fun, I enjoy it. So that is going to do it for Ascendant Evincar. Instant board shift. Instantly grow your team, instantly weaken your opponent's cards. Hopefully, black is obviously one of the 5 colors. It is a popular color to play in this format, so it may not work all the time. And that is one of the weaknesses of this card, is if your opponents also have black creatures, they're not going to get affected by the negative. In fact, they will also be buffed up by Ascendant Evincar, so that is a downside to this commander, is it boosts everything. It is an entire board shift. But setting that aside, this card is cool. You can do some fun things with it. I'm very excited to play more traditional, like old school plague effects with it and just kind of whittle down the board and keep it under control as much as possible in this weird, nasty, swampy style way. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything I missed, and thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, there was a comment that I wanted to make a comment about. I don't remember the full name of this username, but someone, I think it started with Crow, had made a comment about wanting me to do Homelands set for the meme, and I'm proud to tell you, Crow, like I said in my reply to you on that Magic video, I've done the entire set of Homelands by the time this video comes out. It was fantastic. It was wild. In fact, one of my favorite decks I've ever made, the Bird Tribal deck, came from that set because of Soraya, that's what I'm going to say, Soraya the Falconer, right? Is it Soraya? I'm going to pull it up. I have it here. I had it prepped. I went and looked just to double check. Yeah, Soraya the Falconer is from that set, and that was one of my favorite decks I ever built, was the Bird deck. And my group, my play group, that deck is so popular amongst my play group that one of my best friends made me a playmat, and on the playmat has a bird and a bear on it because of my bird deck and my bear deck that I made. So Soraya, yeah, I've done all the Homelands commanders, so go check that out if you haven't read the message or you haven't seen me talk about this in this video. Yeah, I did all the Homelands cards. It was fantastic. So we're going to keep going through every set as fast as I can to catch up. It's going to be impossible, I know that, but I'm going to have fun doing it anyway. So Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know again if there's anything I missed in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!